Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session on generating real-time value with streaming analytics. Nate will join me later and we'll discuss how Tyson Foods use this platform for their use cases. And I'm product director in Google Cloud, driving real-time analytics platform. According to Gartner, by 2024, many of you will be operationalizing AI-based real-time analytics. This is really based on the streaming data that many of you are actually seeing it. If you look back in 2020 with the COVID, we've seen a huge change. Many of you had to adapt to it, really drive new capabilities, figure out a way to really deliver value to your customers. And most of it came from these digital e-commerce or digital media. A lot of the information that we have really happening at all times. If you look at the right hand side, we depict the value of an event that is taking place, and there's this window of opportunity that goes down in time, meaning there is a really higher value as you see the event happening. For you to react to it and come up with some decision and some insight is really important. That event becomes part of this mountain of knowledge. You can actually use it for your batch analysis and so forth. But how do we really enable all of you to get to this higher value of now? So the question that I've been using, the high value questions, are really in these three categories. We are really used to using the what has happened question with our batch analytics to really understand what took place. But more and more, all of you are really dealing with what is happening now, whatever the definition of now is for you and for your business. This is what we call the real time analytics. Higher value is happening in the what might happen. This is where your real-time analytics integrated with AI and with your business intelligence, that is your continuous intelligence platform that will help you answer what might happen questions. When we started looking on this with many of you in many industries, one of the things that we've noticed is there's a little bit of a gap or chasm, if you will, achieving this value, largely tied with the stack of the existing technologies, the technology stack that some might have in hand, plus the patterns and understanding of what those valuable areas are. What is it that we need to define? How is it that we can go about it? This requires some kind of a change, some kind of a transformational change. And some of you, like Tyson Foods, have done it, and they've done a very great job in adopting this in their industries. The use cases that most of you are dealing with when it comes to streaming are, hey, I want to aggregate my events into my data warehouse. We call that the streaming ETL. Yet some of you are actually ingesting directly into your data warehouse. We call that the streaming ELT, and do your transformation there. And then many of you really have these real-time dashboarding capabilities where you can help with the timely decision makings. And there are lots of use cases where the humans are not in the loop, like the IoT use cases. These operational decision making is taking place by triggering an action or event that once you made the decision. These are some of the use cases that we've seen working with you. And what we are trying to do is help you accelerate your ability to create these values for your industries, for your customers. This intelligent platform keeps adding new value, keeps growing, and it's very, very simple for you to really take advantage of it. So the journey is much easier for you. We want to work with you from wherever you are to really walk through the journey with you in the simple platform. And it's totally open. The possibilities are endless. The open source community is in here. Ecosystem has grown. This really helps you with your hybrid solutions, whether it's cloud to cloud or on-prem to cloud. We're here to really work with all of you. And we are the recognized leader in cloud data warehousing and streaming analytics. By if you look at the Forrester's analysis of this year, you will see us leading the way. This end-to-end solution is built on this platform where data flow is in the center of making this transformation. On one side, you're really triggering and ingesting the events and so forth, where you have capabilities like PubSub and Kafkas and so forth, no matter where your data is coming from as an input. Dataflow helps you transform and achieve really this batch and streaming use cases for all your needs to work with through the outputs of BigQuery and Vertex AIs or Apaches and so forth. This is your end-to-end platform. We've been working between Dataflow, BigQuery, and Vertex AI to integrate it and make this the machine learning for streaming use cases. This is your platform that you can use for all your prediction needs, all your solutions that you're driving. You have the choice of frameworks that you can actually pick. We've integrated the TensorFlow, the PyTorch, the NVIDIA Rapids, and so forth in here where you can activate your insights using BigQuery, Bigtable, and pop subs and so forth. And it is your platform where you can actually drive these models of trainings for your continuous models. And it has the CI/CD that you need to be really achieving in your platform. Many of you from different industries are using this platform to drive very high value use cases. I captured a few of them in here, from anomaly detection to pattern recognition to time series analysis to real time click stream values. These are all ingestions and insights as the data is transformed, as the data is coming in. Very, very highly valuable for all your users. So, what is new in this platform? I'm really excited to highlight a few things. I think I already mentioned we've been focusing on the machine learning side of it with data flow and underlying platform for you. We integrated GPU as part of data flow. We've integrated the Beam interactive platform for you. The notebooks are there. And many of you have been asking the SDK for your data science applications. Pythons, the data frame support, and time series drivers are all in there. And integration with Vertex AI, with TFX and Kubeflow prediction, it completes the platform for you where you can actually come and do all your applications for your industry. Dataflow Prime, I talked about it in the past, is the next generation platform. This is really about minimizing your total cost of ownership and your productivity to the next level to help you unlock a lot of the business opportunities that you have. Many talks about serverless these days, but we've taken serverless to the next levels. It is the industry first leading technologies where we have the right fitting and the vertical auto scaling. So vertical as well as horizontal scaling for your jobs that is matched to ensure you have the lowest total cost of ownership and the fastest insight into your data. On top of it, we provided the smart diagnostics capabilities and SLO-based management system where proactively system is monitoring and enabling your users to really diagnose and identify what the problems might be. This is yet another industry-leading capability. And we all know the parallel platforms and parallel data processing is awesome. It's magical. How do you debug magic? That's what this is all about. The capabilities that we put in here is helping you, helping your users, helping your data engineers really be ahead of it because it does tell you where the potential problems might be so you can actually focus on it and help yourself and help the systems. Our pops up is your no ops, very, very comprehensively secured with every certification you can imagine and totally affordable platform is for your event messaging and moving data between whatever the processing needs that you may have, from Kafkas to Kubernetes to functions to whatever that you want to do it. We heard from all of you that you were looking for light version, and we enabled, pops up light is generally available for all your use cases that if you have a tighter budgets for some workflows that cost is the primary driver, this is right there for you. You have it globally available for you. Please check it out if you haven't checked it out already. Our ecosystem and the tools are growing, and I'm really thrilled to have my partners in here from Splunk, NVIDIA, Elastic, Confluence to how we're leveraging the Museum and Hadoop and Kafka and Apache system. This is our ecosystem. This gives you the flexibility. This gives you the openness that you've been asking. You need this on your platform. I wanted to double click on the Elasticsearch, what we have done in here, it is first of a kind. No need to install agent solution for you in here. It's really easy. Few clicks away, you can actually go from BigQuery to Dataflow into Elasticsearch. This really helps you get to the analysis that you need. You've been asking for it. I'm really excited to announce this in here. Many of the industries, all of them are using this platform, delivering value for their users as the industry leaders in their for their customers. I'm looking forward to hearing from all of you to hear newer challenges, how we can help your customer needs, your digital transformation needs to solve more of your problems. Now I'd like to introduce Nate Marks, our solution architect from Tyson Foods. Nate?
Thank you, Evren. Hello, everyone. My name is Nate Marks. I'm a native of Northwest Arkansas. I work at Tyson Foods, which is headquartered in Springdale, Arkansas. I've been at Tyson for 15 years and worked on multiple different full stack engineering teams. Currently, I'm a solutions architect on the IT Insights as a Service platforms team. My primary responsibilities include the design and build out of analytics related cloud native implementations on the Google Cloud platform.
Perfect. Let's talk about Tyson Foods data strategy. How did you guys go about establishing your strategies? What was that journey like?
Absolutely. So historically, analytics solutions at Tyson were traditional BI solutions that focused on KPIs and simplifying data so that humans could understand it. However, for Tyson to sustain continued growth as a company, we needed to embrace the complexity of our data, build for that complexity, and bubble up key findings that people can understand and make actionable decisions on. In response to this, the Tyson IT data strategy was changed, and it was time to go all in on the creation of a digital twin. Tyson's definition of a digital twin is a platform that embraces the complexity that is Tyson's business. Having it allows to scale the optimizations within our business processes, moving from local optimizations to system wide connected optimizations that unlock new, undiscovered business opportunities. From that high level definition, we broke our approach to creating a digital twin into three categories: outcomes, capabilities, and enablers. A few examples of outcomes include enabling supply chain simulation what if scenarios, prescriptive price elasticity recommendations, the expediting mergers and acquisition activities, improvement of customer intimacy. A few examples of capabilities include data is relevant, accurate, and integrated, self service platforms, end user performance, and the implementation of advanced analytics moving from descriptive to predictive to ultimately prescriptive analytics. A few examples of enablers include unbound scale, highly parallel processing, DevSecOps, open source, and the implementation of a Lambda data architecture. Many of these enablers were not physically possible to implement in our legacy on prem analytics environment. Therefore, to achieve the outcomes and capabilities necessary to enable the digital twin, we had to undergo a digital transformation in our analytics space. For Tyson, this meant going all in on cloud computing with an initial focus on building the ingestion component of the digital twin platform.
That's fantastic. This ingestion compute, the DICE platform, can you tell us a little bit more about that? That's very fascinating.
Sure. So, based on Tyson's historical precedent with analytics solutions, we knew we had to focus on solving the ingestion problem first. Historically, at Tyson, analytics projects have suffered from the problem of, well, how do we get the data? And this problem has been prolific and caused projects many times to be extended for weeks or even months due to having to write and support one-off data ingestion processes at the front end of a project. Many times, this also created an inability for IT to deliver analytics solution at a speed necessary for the business to take full advantage of the value that the solution was even creating. So the DICE value proposition was created as an initial charter for a new platform that solves these historical ingestion problems and enables our ability to focus solely on creating the digital twin. It is centered around three key high level points. Point one is accelerate the speed of our delivery for IT analytics solutions. Point two is enable growth of IT capabilities to produce meaningful insights. And point three is reduce our total cost of ownership for ingestion solutions long term.
I see. Can we take it a little deeper and go into the tech stack and walk through, if you don't mind?
Oh, yes, my favorite part. DICE stands for Data Ingestion Compute Engine. DICE is a GCP hosted open source cloud native ingestion platform developed by Tyson. It provides configuration based, no ops, code free ingestion of data from disparate enterprise data systems, both internal and external to Tyson Foods. Teams use DICE to set up secure data ingestion jobs in minutes without having to manage complex connections or having to write, deploy, and support their own code for ingestion. Today, as you can see on the slide, there's a few parts that are grayed out. Today, we're going to focus on two layers of DICE, two of the primary layers, and those include the metadata engine and the data engine. Before we talk about those, though, we need to understand that what a DICE job is when we refer to a DICE job. A DICE job is the logical unit of work in the DICE platform. It consists of immutable and mutable configuration persisted as JSON documents stored in Firestore. The job exists as an instruction set for the DICE data engine, which is Apache Beam running in Dataflow. We'll get to that here in a minute, to understand how to pull the data, what data to pull, how often to pull it, how to process the data when it changes, and then ultimately where does it need to go. So now that you know a little bit about the logical unit of work, to detail what the metadata engine, what its job is it is responsible for the creation and management of DICE job configuration and all orchestration related to the execution of a DICE job on the platform. The metadata engine is made up of many different microservices that each interact with multiple different GCP services. A few of the main services in the metadata engine include the Job Configuration Creation API, the Job Build Configuration Helper API, and the Job Execution Scheduler API. To move to the data engine is the core of DICE. The data engine is responsible for the physical ingestion of data into the DICE platform, the change detection, processing of that data, and ultimately the delivery of that data to n number of targets based on the configuration of a particular DICE job. The data engine is Java code that uses the Apache Beam unified programming model and is deployed and runs in Google Cloud Dataflow. It is comprised of both streaming jobs and Dataflow Flex template batch jobs. Logically, the data engine is segmented across three different layers. We consider the first layer our inbound processing layer. Data then lands in our second layer, which is the DICE file system layer. And then the third layer is the target processing layer that takes the data from the DICE file system and moves it to whatever targets are configured for that particular DICE job.
Very good. You had this platform for a while. Can we talk about your stack a little bit and what it means to Tyson Foods?
Sure. So I wrote the first line of code for DICE in July of 2019. A few months later, DICE was first deployed to a production environment in November of 2019. Today, DICE has more than 3,000 data ingestion jobs from more than 100 different disparate data systems, both internal and external to Tyson Foods. DICE supports ingestion from many different types of technologies, a few of which include BigQuery, SQL Server, SAP HANA, Postgres, Oracle, MySQL, DB2, many different types of file systems and FTP servers, generic REST API sources. Additionally, Dice supports target platform technologies for ingestion jobs that include multiple JDBC targets, multiple different file system targets, BigQuery, and queue-based store and forward technologies. The platform continues to have linear growth of Dice jobs, all while keeping platform costs relatively flat. Uh, Additionally, we're constantly enhancing Dice to support new source and targets to meet the increased demand for the platform. But as you can see from the slide, uh, we run we have 3,000 Dice jobs, but based on how many data flow jobs run every day, you can tell that most of these jobs run multiple times a day. So we currently run over 17,000 data flow jobs in the Dice environment on a daily basis and ingest, on average, around 3.25 terabytes of new data into the Dice environment on a daily basis as well.
It's fascinating. Sounds like your journey, your digital transformation is paying off. You're satisfied where you are. And thank you so much for joining me. This has been really good for all our users to hear. Many are trying to do similar digital transformations in their industries. And this was a great, real example. Thank you for your time and contributions. And all of you can check these training resources and available patterns out for your jobs and templates that you heard from Nate to really explore whatever else you want to do. And we're looking forward to hearing from all of you. Thank you for joining us.